Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Words Have Power with your host, Teresa Hawley-Howard. I'm so excited for the October Summit. These women are amazing, and today is no different. Welcome to the show and tell us all about yourself.
Oh, hi, Teresa. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. My name is Oyinkan Akinmade. I'm a physical therapist by training. And then after I did that for a while, I found out that I was enjoying coaching people more than actually doing the clinical work. I decided to get some training to become a certified professional coach. So right now, I'm a certified professional coach, and I focus on helping individuals, professionals demonstrate confidence and communicate effectively so that they can take charge of their work lives and enjoy doing it.
That's so powerful because I know sometimes we start out in one area and we think, this is it. I've got my training. I'm going to do this. And then it evolves into something else.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, this is one thing that I've come to know, that everything you do through in life can be turned, or it trains you for the next step. So never look at something that you don't love or a difficulty or a child passing through as a death sentence, but look at it as a means of being trained to become better and to offer better things at the end of it.
That's so true. So tell us about how you help people with communication, because communication is a big deal with being an entrepreneur, being in business, or even in your work life. Communication, and even in relationships, it's a big deal. And a lot of times it causes a lot of problems if you have miscommunication.
Absolutely. First of all, I always believe that the foundation of everything is how confident you are. And I define things not just as feeling confident, but showing confidence. Because if you ask anyone to describe a confident person, they won't tell you how they feel. So you have to know your value, then you're able to show your value and show your value. But once you're confident, the key thing is actually to express your ideas and your opinions in a way that they influence the decisions that matter. And my first experience was when I just left college, but I didn't realize it until one day I was still working as a physical therapist. And I had someone storm into my office and was complaining about how bad things are, that this person wasn't listening to them, and it went on and on and on. And I asked them, what did they say? And they said, man, you need to do it in a better way. You need to show your value. You need to show the other person why it's beneficial for them to at least listen to you and give your idea or your objections a fair chance.
That's so true. Sometimes we're so caught up in how we feel or what we think that we're not really realizing that we're not telling the other person what we need from them, what we expect for them, what the expectation is, what the things are that show our value or what we value in them. And a lot of times that can be a problem. It can be a problem with your clients if you're not clear on your expectations. It can be a problem in your relationships if you're not clear on what you're expecting from the other person. And it can even be a problem in your job.
Oh, yes. I mean, most of my experiences have been with work, even though like with close family and friends kind of talk about pointers. But I remember an incident where another co-worker was really complaining about something. And I was like, oh, I brought this to my boss's attention, and she didn't see anything else. What did you see? And she told me. And I was like, all you just did now was just complain. You didn't see anything. And so many times people complain and expect to see change. And when they don't see it, it even frustrates them the more and becomes a negative cycle. So really, we need to learn to communicate effectively. And one thing I always tell people is to think about the other person and think about what the other person needs to hear to change their mind. That's always a key thing, because sometimes you realize that what you're expecting can happen. So yes, we need to do that.
Can you give our audience a couple of tips on effective communication?
All right. Let me start with one of my favorites. Always learn background information. Because when you learn background information, you are able to prepare better for any objection. You're able to know the research to go into before you present your idea. So if you're working for someone, for example, and the person has had a previously nasty experience with something or something similar to what you're suggesting, you need to have that information. Because guess what? If you don't have that information and you bring that topic up, it's going to be closed down. The person going to be very critical. I may not want to hear about it. And you would get offended and like, what is happening here? Can you give me a minute? My battery is going down.
Yes.
Is that okay? I thought I plugged it in, but I think I didn't plug it into the meeting. Just a minute.
So tell us more about that if we don't know the background information.
If you don't know background information, you don't know how much to prepare to present your ideas. You're not even psychologically ready for any objections the other person may put in, right? But if you know their wins, their losses, you know what you have to put in. So if someone has lost, maybe you have a manager that maybe went with a new software and it messed up the whole programming, and you as an IT person is suggesting another software. If you know what happened to that previous software and how it affected everything, you are able to actually face those objections and say, hey, I know this happened before. This was wrong. This is how this different. So by knowing just that background information, you're able to better prepare to give the person the information they need that will help them at least consider what you have to say. The other tip I give to communicating effectively is to understand your personality and the other person's personality. Because often people clash because they're not able to re-communicate. So for a good example, those that are very detail-oriented. So if you work for someone that's detail-oriented, or you want to do business with someone that's detail-oriented, you had better know the things he wants or she wants to see before they make the decisions. Because if you don't, then you're not going to satisfy that person enough to make them decide in your favor. And the contrary is true. You don't want to overload. So if you sometimes, and you need to overload, and let me go there before I move on. Because if someone gets overwhelmed easily by details and you put in like every single thing, they're going to gloss over it.
Yeah.
So you want to understand the personality of the people. So sometimes, the question becomes, if someone I'm meeting for the first time, how do I do that? And that's why small talk comes into play and being observant about the cues they're asking. So for you, you need to know your stuff. Always assume you're getting a detailed person so that you know all your facts, you know everything. But when you're having those conversations, pay attention to the cues, to the questions, so that you're able to give the information and move and change as needed. And that brings me to the third thing is learn to be flexible. Yeah. Don't think people will absorb information the way you present it. And this is, you're in a room and you're presenting to them. Body language is a very good key to help you know how you're doing. Mm-hmm. Do they look interested? Do they look like they're going along? Do they look confused? And if you don't know, questions like, am I going too far? Do I need to add more details? Do I need to step back? Ask questions, and that would help you understand the temperature of the room and how to move on with that communication.
That's so true. And after you've presented, I know after I present, I always ask for feedback, because feedback is important so that you can correct the areas that you were lacking in, or maybe you went way too far or way too technical in another area. And so feedback is always necessary so that you can perfect what you're presenting in your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another tip, if you're going to a group of people, you're presenting to a group of people, find out the decision maker. Find who do I convince in this present? Because you may have a room full of 12 people, but it may be 2 or 3 people you need to convince. So you really tailor what you're saying to those 3 people, not because the others aren't important, but those are the 3 people that would either say yay or nay. So another tip that I share with people to know who the decision maker is when you're going into a group setting.
So true. So tell our listeners how they can reach you, how they can connect with you.
Okay, so very easy. You can go to our website, boldandageless.com/welcome, and you will see all the things that you can use. I have free tools. I have free challenges that would help you demonstrate your confidence better. Or you can follow me at Instagram, but my name is kind of very special. So I don't know if you get that, but follow me on Instagram at Oyinkan for Bold and Ageless. I love the name Ageless because I don't think age should stop you from doing whatever you want
That's such a powerful statement. And we will have the links in the bio, so you'll be able to follow from there. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Just click.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for sharing with us. Communication is very powerful and it is very important. So if you don't master it, it's going to be hard for you to master any part of your business. It's going to be hard for you to move forward.
Absolutely.
If you don't master communication. Do you have any parting advice?
That's so true.
Parting words for our audience?
Never give up. I mean, if you struggle with something, because you don't know it all. So if you're struggling with anything, confidence, communication, never give up. Just strive and be better. That's it. So don't feel bad. Don't be so discouraged that you're not good at something. Don't get frustrated. Give up. Just keep going in and trying to get better each day.
Thank you so much. And thank y'all once again for listening to Words Have Power with Teresa Hawley-Howard. As always, we tell you your words have power. Use them wisely and use them to change the world. Fits right in with our communication. So you have a great day. And thank you once again for being on the show.